Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we are going to talk about the brand new Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina collection. This is the brand new Norvina Pro Pigment Palette, Volume 5. As the title states, this is the 5th one. This is a Pro Pigment collection. We're going to talk about why it's not called an eyeshadow collection in just a moment. It is $60, currently available on the Anastasia Beverly Hills site, but coming, of course, to a store near you. If you were in the US, probably Sephora, or Canada, probably Sephora pretty quickly, and I'll keep updating my links and such below, so check for that. If you are a fan of Anastasia Beverly Hills, you have certainly watched their progression and evolution, and lately almost the slowing down of the brand. Let me tell you why I've been hit and miss with Anastasia Beverly Hills releases, but I'm trying to get back into them again. I am definitely rooting for the brand. A very, very brief history, not to talk down to those of you who know this, of course, but we have all different levels watching this program. Anastasia, of course, founded the company. She was the brow guru of Beverly Hills. I live in Los Angeles, so I was very much a part of that. How we did our brows, how we did our arches, how we planned them out, how we measured, that was all started by Anastasia. Norvina, of course, being her daughter, who took over the company and took it even more into the makeup direction and the wilder eyeshadows in the heyday of Anastasia Beverly Hills. They have definitely quieted down lately after a slew of just like release after release after release. I even saw something somewhere that said Norvina has taken a break, but she's back. And let me tell you, she's back better than ever. These Pro Pigment collections are all pretty insanely good. Let's take a look here on the screen. I'm going to show you the Pro Pigment Volume 1, which some might say it was a purpley one and therefore kind of close to this, which is mostly lilacs. Volume 2, Volume 3, and Volume 4. I just wanted you to see those up there, and if you're a collector, you definitely have these. I didn't bring them all out here because I really want to concentrate on this Pro Pigment Volume 5. Why is it not called an eyeshadow? Well, these are pressed pigments, and oddly, a lot of them are not suggested for use around the eye. I know. Let's take a look at them here. I know it is a little crazy to have what is essentially an eyeshadow palette and have it not recommended for use around the eyes. That is just kind of a disclaimer. Some people do get a little bit of allergies from certain pressed pigments around the eye. You will know if that's you. Have you had a reaction to that kind of purple or brownish red type of pigment ever in an eyeshadow? Then you might want to be careful. There's glitters in here and such as well. You know, you've been warned, use with caution. I don't like getting glitter in my eye either. Just be careful, and that is why it is called a Pro Pigment collection. You can't count on everybody being careful these days, I guess. So let's look at it again. As I said, this is based around the lilacs. It's very different than the first volume. Probably more similar, if anything, to some of the smaller Norvina palettes. I have linked all the Norvina collection below, so you can click on my link there and take a look at them all if you'd like to. But I wanted to show you this. Definitely a lot of purples going on, and I have a hit and miss relationship with purple, but I have green eyes, so I'm trying to really make amends with it. And let me tell you, let me just do a spoiler alert, this is a beautiful palette. They're so creamy, the shades. Not in a cream to powder formula, but just in a rich, easily blended. They're just absolutely beautiful. So what we're going to do, I have on my eyes now a very simple look done with the palette to show that it's very day friendly, which I'll show you in a moment, but we're also going to look at arm swatches and spice this up a little bit with some of the funkier shades in the palette. First thing I want to do is go to the arm swatches. This palette is divided up into rows, and they've given it names, really simple names, which thank you, Norvina. For me, that really helps. They have literally said row A, row B, row C, row D, and row E. Shades 1 through 5. Okay, so first of all, I want to take a look on my arm. You will see rows A and B right there for you. So take a look at rows A and B. And then I'm going to add to that rows C and D. So I left A and B up there, and then rows C and D are right underneath it for you to take a look at. And finally, we're going to add in row E. That is all 5 rows and all 25 shades in this palette. It is a nice big palette with all sorts of good stuff in there. Now mine arrived with shade E3 right there. I don't know if you can see that kind of broken. I've pressed it back in and I'll do a better job, but it's currently kind of leaking its goodness everywhere all over the place. So I will definitely either have to fix that or give them a ring. I'll figure it out either way. I have heard of some of the rest of these palettes arriving a little bit out of shape too. The company will help you out with there, but let me know if you got yours and if any were broken in there. I wonder if it's going to always be E3, that shade. Interesting. Okay, so what I have done so far, and I want to show you, just to start this video out, I have done the kind of basic, boring part of it. So let's go to that video where I start with A4. That's the 4th shade over in the A row, the top row. I start with A4 all over the eyelids and underneath the eyes as well. So take a look at that. And then I add in A5 just to kind of define things a little bit on the edge. And what that has done is given me a very simple everyday look that you could wear out to work or just to run around and do errands. It is very simple, very subtle, and nothing too exciting. The reason I started the video off this way is I wanted to show you that this is not just a kind of wilder palette, it's an everyday palette as well. Now I want to spice it up just a tad, but first I neglected to mention, look at this mirror. I don't want to hold it too up because you're just going to see me there. Hi there. This is such a beautiful mirror. You could use this if you traveled with this. The palette folds and is such a nice hard case that though I know one of my shades fell apart in transport, I know, but for the most part your shades are going to be very protective in here, and the mirror, as always in the Norvina Pro Pigment Collection, the mirror is just, I wanted you to know, very generous and very useful. Okay, but I'm going to make use of my mirror here on the side just because I'm a creature of habit. And let's take this. I have, as I told you, done A4 and A5. These are kind of a purpley looking kind of neutrals, so to speak. Let's spice things up a little bit. Let's take this kind of work day look and let's take a rougher number 2, which is just kind of a little flat brush right there, and let's go in with the D row. Let's go to D5. D4 and D5 are kind of, let me just show you here on my finger. This is D4, this is D5. They're kind of similar shades, D4, D5. They're kind of similar, but I'm going to go in with D5 and let's just darken up this side right here and see how that looks. Now this is taking that kind of day look and just, I'm going to run it underneath a little bit too with what's left on the brush. This is taking that and just deepening it a little bit. Let's go back into D5 again, and on the other side let's just deepen things up a little bit, taking that excess left on the brush and just kind of running it under, not all the way under, just a little bit. And I want to add in some sparkle. So there you go there. Woo, what have I done? Don't use the finger that you wiped something off on. Okay, so actually let's just, you know what? Let's make use of a mistake. Just darken it. It's kind of a happy mistake, actually. I find all errors to just be kind of happy errors. I kind of actually, strangely, like this. Let's just stick with it. Let's go with it. I had it on my finger, and I don't have my cloth here. But actually, you guys, I'm kind of liking it. That's not bad, actually. Let's go with it. Okay, let's go sparkly now. Let's go into, I want to kind of go into, let's go into this shade that started to fall apart on me, which is E3. Okay, let's just go in on that and put that right there in the center. Talk about purple. And as I told you, I'm trying to make amends with my fear of purple, because I am supposed to just love purple. And I have to tell you, I'm kind of, I mean, yes, I probably need a little bit of concealer to cover up my imbalance there, but I'm kind of loving that mistake that I made, like I like to call that a happy error. Take a look at what I got going now, other than the little extra press pigment that I probably should fix up a little bit, but I just went with the mistake and I'm happy I did. Take a look there at what we got going on. Now I have something where I took that bland base that I had with the A4 and the A5 and very quickly, even with my mistake, still quickly amped it up for a nighttime or evening look. Beautiful palette. This is very purple, and even those beige type shades do have a purple cast. So you have to like purple or be like me and have a desire to grow to like purple, which I'm definitely doing. However, there are some shades in here that are not purple and this amazing white that you could do so much with, especially even as a base under other shadows to make them pop out more, which would work on any skin tone. So you could do a lot with this. And though there are shades other than purple, however, I would not get this palette unless you are a purple lover. And if you are, let me tell you, these shades all work so beautifully. And let me take another look at myself there. I am so pleased with this look that I've put together today. Like I said, even with my error, we went with it and I'm kind of into it. Maybe this is what Urban Decay should have done when they made a Prince palette instead of what they did. We won't get into it. Congratulations to Norvina and the crew over at Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is a beautiful, beautiful palette. If you are a purple lover or liker, you should have this in your collection. It's lovely. And for $60, not bad. For all that, 25 shades, and they all perform so beautifully. I am absolutely thrilled. Tell me your thoughts if you're going to pick this up. Do comment below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope you did. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.